You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters. It's great to be here today. I'm Lian Dolan in Pasadena, California. I'm a writer, I'm a podcaster, and I have no one going back to school. But our question of the week is best back to school advice. Liz, what's up?
Okay, I'm Liz Dolan. I'm in Santa Monica, California. I have some back to school choices I'm going to be making later on in the show. But I remember the best back to school advice I ever got was like, Mom would take us out and we would get to buy our back to school outfits. But
I love that. Yeah.
But we lived in New England, so it was always like big wool sweaters and wool jumpers and kilts and things. And she'd say, well, you don't have to wear it on the first day of school because, the day after Labor Day in Connecticut, it's still like 85 degrees out. But no, you'd always wear your new clothes the first day of school and you would just sweat to death all day. So best back to school advice, you don't have to wear your new wool clothes when it's still summer in New England. That's the best advice I never followed.
Jewel?
Hi, this is Julie Dolan. I'm the oldest sister and I live in Dallas, Texas. And Liz, I wish, because I remember that first day of school, used to sweat a lot wearing my heavy wool clothes. But my best back to school advice is sit up front. Okay? Pay attention. If you sit in the back, you're not going to pay attention. If you sit too close to the window, you're going to be looking out the window. If you can see the clock in the classroom, you're going to be looking at the clock. So sit up front, pay attention, and learn something. Lian?
You make it sound so simple, Joel. Make it sound so simple.
Pay attention. That's it.
All right. Well, we used to actually have a lot of experts on this show about, kids and parenting and education. And I remember 20 years ago when my kids were little, an expert saying something that I want to pass along. She said, one of the things we've lost now that many parents drive their kids to school is this decompression time when kids used to get out of school and walk home, or they get out of school and they get on the bus and they could just decompress from the day. And now the parents pick up, they don't have that because guess what happens? Your child gets in the car and immediately it's, how was the math test? What's the deal with that Latin grade? Blah, blah, blah. They cannot help themselves. We cannot help themselves as parents,
Good point, Lian.
So this expert said, let your kids decompress. Do not ask them about the math test or the homework or what was the story with the Spanish test that you got the F on. Don't even really need to talk to them on the way home from school and wait for that conversation later in the day. So my kids walked to school for K through 8, so they had this natural decompression time, but it is advice I followed in high school. I did not bug them. Almost no conversation.
It's interesting when my grandchildren had to wear masks to school during COVID, a lot of times I would pick them up and they would keep their masks on in the car. And I think it was... That was their decompression time, I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to keep my mask up and drive.
Maybe she won't ask me anything if I
drive, Nana. Just drive the car. Yeah.
She won't ask me where I sat in the classroom today if I just keep my mask on.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. That's our best back to school advice. Very good. Good work, team. All right. Today on the show, what do we have? Well, we have a lot of entertaining sisters today. Things that people have been watching and reading and listening. They have questions, obviously. Going to talk a little bit about Jimmy Buffett. That's happening on the show. Julie, you have an international news roundup.
Yes. A lot of things have been happening in the world that we haven't been paying attention to. So attention must be paid. That's what I say.
Okay. I am going to talk about Skiplagging. Is it a travel hack or is it a travel crime? We're going to talk about that, get opinions. And then good news, girls. I have fashion trends for us.
Oh, good.
Okay, Lian.
I love when you read a few magazines and then tell us what to wear.
Yes, Liz. I have been reading magazines, catalogs, and TikTok. So, great resources here. And I use the term fashion loosely. So there you have it. But Julie, where did you go this weekend?
Okay, I had a big holiday.
Yeah.
I had a big holiday weekend in northern Vermont. This is actually referred to as the Northeast Kingdom. Have you ever heard of that term?
No.
No, that
Okay,
sounds
well now
scary.
you no, it is not scary. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Trees, rolling hills, ponds, lakes, beautiful rural Vermont, the Northeast Kingdom. Our niece and her husband, Charlie, had a wedding celebration there overlooking this gorgeous Lake Campion, okay? And this wedding was just filled with so much love for the couple. I mean, I think they were the most enthusiastic wedding couple I've ever seen. These two were they were over the top. And they had all these wonderful friends, all this wonderful family around, beautiful toasts. It was truly a wonderful wedding. But the theme for this wedding was summer camp, kind of a summer camp feel, because Laura and her family had always spent some of their summer vacation in this Northeast Kingdom, Lian and Liz. They'd stay at a cabin, they'd swim in a lake, they'd play cards. And this is what Laura loved. And she wanted to show all of her friends from all over the country and the world what her childhood was like. So just imagine Charlie and Laura have a lot of friends. They all came and they showed up and they stayed in these little cabins. We were on this gorgeous lake. There was hiking during the day. People could, go out in a canoe. There was lots of things. So there was this group of campers. And all I can say about Laura and Charlie's friends are they're the most attractive people I've ever seen in my life. So this highly attractive group of campers, okay? Campers.
Sounds
they
like
were
a whole Instagram shoot.
I mean, Liz and Lian, eye-popping. The whole crowd was like, wow, look at this group. And then there was us. So we were like sort of the senior counselors, you know?
Yeah.
That would be
okay.
That would be our role. But we had and so it was fun and lively and relaxed. It was a wonderful atmosphere. But because, we all Liz, you and I went to the same camp in Vermont, Camp
We
Quinnipiac.
did.
Right? Lian, you went
Quinnipiac.
to camp in Maine. So you have been up in the wilds of New England. That's what
Yes.
this was. But I don't think I've ever been that far north in Vermont. And it's very rural. There's some small dairy farms, lots of sunflower fields, corn, very, very small villages. There's Glover, there's West Glover. So if you go up to that area, this would be a beautiful area for leaf peeping in the fall. I mean, the first of the maple trees were turning, but in another couple of weeks, it's going to be spectacular. And I have 2 travel recommendations for you because we did some hiking, but we put the brake on as we went by the Bread and Puppet Museum in West Glover, Vermont. Just imagine that. Bread.
Help me imagine that. What goes on there?
All right.
Old bread.
No, fresh bread, Lian. They have a giant bread oven out in the driveway. They're making sourdough. They're making wheat. This is a community formed in the 1963. It's a group of hippies. I think that would be a fair way to describe them. And they have a big old barn. They have a painted school bus where they sell cheap art. That's what it says on the sign. So if you want to stop, buy some cheap art, they got it for you. And then they have this barn with all these puppets, like big puppets, little puppets, puppet heads. And they do a lot of social justice puppetry. Okay.
Oh.
That's what goes on. They have events. This was a big weekend for the Bread and Puppet Museum in West Glover, Vermont, because it was Labor Day weekend. So we weren't able, because of the wedding, to take advantage of that, but we did get to peek around and see what was going at the Bread and Puppet Museum. So put that on your list. And thanks to Liz, I have linked to, there'll be a YouTube video of the Bread and Puppet Museum. I mean, it's been around for a long time. That's a long time to have a commune, don't you think?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
in the show notes, you can check it out.
Yeah.
okay. The other thing you must do when you go to the Northeast Kingdom is have a maple creamy. Okay. Let me just tell you what a maple creamy is. This is creamies are the word that they use up in this northern Vermont for soft serve ice cream. Okay.
Oh, now I'm into it. I thought it was like a donut. Oh,
No,
maple
no.
creamy. Oh, wow.
Maple cream, soft serve ice cream. They have stands and they have a maple flavor. Now, I was a little apprehensive about the maple flavor. I thought it might be too sweet. It is perfect. I'm happy to report. Just a hint of maple, delicious, creamy, cold, soft serve ice cream. Maple creamies, put it on your to-do list. You need to have one of these.
Okay. Now I'm Googling maple creamy. Yes,
Now-
of course. They make it with a higher butterfat content. So
Yes.
it's just the extra creamy texture, Julie.
Yes. Okay. All right. You
I am going to a wedding in Vermont next September. So I
You
am
are?
putting maple creamy on my list. Yeah, my niece is getting married there. So that's exciting. I'm adding
Okay.
these things to my list.
And Bread and Puppet Museum, don't miss it. Okay.
That sounds fun.
All right. Well, it's back to school, of course, season. It's also back to college football season. And I can tell you what that means at our house. It means the blimp. And for those of you that don't know, I live very close to the Rose Bowl. I know 99% of you know that, but for the 1% that don't, I live about a half a mile from the Rose Bowl as the crow flies. So, and
Or the
that is-
blimp.
yes, that's the home stadium of the UCLA football team. So, eight Saturdays a year, we have a nonstop blimp circling over our house at a very low altitude. Blimps don't fly high. And because the Rose Bowl is actually set down in an arroyo, the blimp it's almost eye level, you guys. We're up above. And I only mention this because my dog, it just drives her nuts. Like she cannot figure out what this giant football in the sky is. It makes just enough noise. It's flying at a low altitude and it's going so slow. And so it's just so threatening to her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't do the full bark. She just goes outside, just like, she's just growling at the blimp for what seems like hours at a time. Like she'll growl at it and it disappears behind the tree and she can relax. And then it comes back because it's there for like 8 hours over the and eventually she just looks at me like, help me, I can't. And I just bring her inside and I give her some CBD oil to calm her down. And we lock the doors. We don't let her near the back of the house because she can't handle it now. As she's aging, she just cannot. She cannot be responsible for protecting the house from the blimp anymore. So
Wow.
And showing her the blimp on TV probably doesn't help her understand what's happening.
Oh,
Right.
oh, yeah.
It does make you think, what does she think it is? Like it's the 1 minute you wish you could talk to your dog and say, it's just the blimp, Steph. It's gonna come back. Just relax. It's not threatening. It's really not threatening. But that's it. That's what college football means to us. The blimp. The blimp is back.
That is so not what I thought you were going to talk about.
Okay.
I thought you were going to talk about like your
The
son.
Pac-12. I thought it was going to be the Pac-12.
Don't get me
over
started
on
on the
that.
Pac-12. Don't get me started. Let's just stick with the blimp. Stick with the blimp.
Okay, well, September is also back to school season for me. As you guys know, when the pandemic started, I started taking online classes. For some reason, I was on the mailing list for Stanford Continuing Studies, and they were doing all these great online classes. So every semester since like the fall of 2020, I've been taking a class at Stanford. And this past spring, I took that course, The History of the West, because I realized when you grow up in the Northeast, you don't know anything about the West. They never teach you about the West. They barely even acknowledge it happens. They just like who lived there, what happened there.
What states are out there? Yeah,
No.
I understand that, Liz.
No,
Yes.
no, it's like that old New Yorker cartoon where there's nothing west of the Hudson River. That is history in school when you were growing up in New England. Anyway, but I decided that this semester I wanted to take something more fun, just something more entertaining. So they do have a course on how to create your own podcast. I'm thinking maybe I don't need to do that one.
No.
Too late. It's
Yeah.
too late.
Whatever. we should have taken that.
I know.
Okay, so I've picked 3 and I'm going to run them by you and you tell me what you think would be the most entertaining. There are some surprising choices here. I just want to warn you. The first one, very surprising. They have a course called From Kombucha to Kimchi, a hands-on journey into the world of fermentation. So this is welcome to the fascinating world of fermentation and microbial transformation.
Mhm.
So, if you've read anything about food or nutrition, it's all about fermented foods, right?
Right.
Yes.
Your gut health, Liz. Gut health.
Yeah, gut health, which I really do care about gut health, even though I don't quite understand it. Anyway, this one says through hands-on workshops, demonstrations, and lectures, you'll learn the fundamentals about kombucha, kimchi, kosher dill pickles. And I'm like, hands-on workshops on an online class. Does that mean I'm doing this along at home with some kind of professor? And
Oh, Liz, you're all set up cooking with Liz. Okay. They don't know about cooking with Liz. Liz, you got the kitchen, you got the cameras. I mean, you have knives now. You have
Post-its?
all kinds of things that you can do.
Post-its,
with
I've
that.
got that's why it's on the list. That's why it's one of 3. Okay, choice number 2. Great American crime films, from Scarface to Reservoir Dogs. And I thought, well, this could be interesting. So the lineup of films is Scarface, the 1932 edition, sisters,
Okay.
White Heat from 1949, Bonnie and Clyde from 1967, Miller's Crossing from 1990, and Reservoir Dogs from 1992. So this is a discussion about 20 key American crime films, and they point out that all of these are streamable. So, I'm interested in movies and serious discussion about movies. So that is choice number 2. I don't know what you think about that, but
I think that all depends on the teacher.
Yeah, because that
Okay.
seems like a lot of crime, Liz.
lot of crime.
Lot of
crime.
just a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot of shoot 'em up. That could be a big downer.
It says in the course description there that professor will illuminate the reasons why we continue to be drawn to the utterly amoral and psychologically aberrant behavior gleefully on display in these films.
You want to spend a lot of time in that world? I don't
Okay, then let me go to choice number 3, because check this out. I have a feeling you guys might go for this. This course is Joni Mitchell, a deep dive into 6 classic albums. Now, how about that?
Oh, wow.
That's a no-brainer, Liz. You have to take that course.
Okay,
Yeah,
so here's the beginning of that description. Over the past 5 decades, Joni Mitchell has created a body of songs and recording that defies definition. Her influence on subsequent generations of music, from Prince to Taylor Swift to Diana Krall, is almost unmatched. And then blah, 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 blah. So this course will look at the following albums. Ladies of the Canyon, check. Oh my God, I love that. Blue, check. For the Roses, Cord and Spark, and The Hissing of Summer Lawns, and Hejira. Okay, so those are my 3 choices. Now,
I don't think there's any question, right? I mean, you know how to make dilled carrots. You've already done that with his. So just stick with that. Crime, Lian and I do not think that's a good time, use of your time.
Not a good headspace for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So this is it. So you're going with a deep dive into 6 classic albums? Joni
Sounds
Mitchell?
fabulous. Yes.
I agree. I think it's going to be amazing. And it's just like 6 Thursdays in a row, Thursday evenings in a row, which seems like a fantastic way to spend 6 Thursday evenings, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Exactly.
this looks great. Okay, good for you. That's great. I think that's inspiring. Cool.
Okay.
You have a link. You're going to have a link to all the Stanford classes?
Yes.
Or you have a link to this? Okay, because I'm sure
Liz?
after people hear this, they're going to want to take a look at all
Yeah.
these
Did you
classes.
have to take a standardized test to get into the continuing ed class or not?
No, it's super. There's a very wide range of classes, which is true at most universities now. Have
Correct.
these online continuing ed things. There is so much good stuff out there. So I encourage people to look around and see what you find. I just happened to get on this list and have been sticking to their program. Okay, sold. Joni Mitchell, a deep dive into 6 classic albums. I will report back on my findings, sisters.
I think now's the time to revisit Joni. It's a good time. She's still with us. It's a good time to revisit Joni. Excellent. Excellent.
I agree.
Time. Excellent.
I
Sure to,
Can't
be
wait.
sure, yeah, be sure to sit up front, Liz. Okay.
Julie, I'm so excited that Vivaya is now a sponsor of Satellite Sisters because their shoes are comfortable to wear. They're incredibly stylish. They have modern technology, sustainable practices, and they are stretchy and friendly to wide feet, Julie. And that's me. I'm wide feet.
It's all about comfort. Lian, I got the pump,
Yeah.
which is very stylish. It's kind of a Chanel-like pump, super duper comfortable. It looks great with pants, looks great with the skirt. I'm wearing these all over.
Okay, well, I do have some challenges with my feet. I'll just admit it. You know it. They're a little wide.
Yeah.
I have some issues, and I have struggled to find, things with heels that are comfortable for me and flattering. And you know what? The Margot wedge, it's a game changer for me. I used our code over there at Vivaya. I ordered a pair. I wore them to lunch the other day. I'm testing them out because I have some speaking engagements for the fall where I have to leave my home and put shoes on. And I wore them without pain, Julie, without discomfort. I didn't even need to rip them off my feet the minute I got to the car. They were just very stylish. I loved them. It made me feel great putting on these Margaux. So we want to encourage you to take a look at Vivaya, our new brand that we are working with for shoes. We love them. We think you will too. They have so many cute styles and colors and patterns, and they are just as comfortable as you want them to be. Go to vivaya.com to get 15% off your purchase with code SISTERS. And Vivaya is spelled Vivaia. Vivaya.com for 15% off with promo code SISTERS. Vivaya.com, promo code SISTERS. Thanks, Vivaya.
Hey, it's Liz with a reminder that, it's really easy to stay in touch with the Satellite Sisterhood on many platforms.
That's right, Liz. For starters, we have a website, satellitesisters.com, where you can listen to all the podcasts. You also can read our blog posts, which include show notes. And if you want, you can snoop around in our bios and pictures.
On Facebook, we have a couple of options. The first is our Facebook page, where we post our news and all of our news shows. You just have to like that page so you get our posts in your feed.
And the second option is the Facebook group, aka the nicest place on the internet. That's where you can post yourself and interact with everyone in the group. You can share, you can comment, or you can just enjoy the vibe. And that page is private. So things posted in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group cannot be shared outside of the group. To join, you simply search on Satellite Sisters Facebook group and then click to join or follow. You'll get one or two really easy questions to answer. That's just so we can make sure you're a real person and not a bot. And then we approve you. Done.
We're also on Instagram, of course. You can follow @SatSisters. You'll see our posts there and get alerted to when we go live. And we're trying to go live more. In fact, we've been pretty regular on Fridays lately with a follow-up Friday. Individually, you can also follow us @Lian Dolan, @Satellite Sister Liz, or @Julie Oldest Sister.
And finally, don't sleep on good old email. Yes, that's right. We have a show email address. If you want to write to us, it's just hello@satellitesisters.com. We really do read everything sooner or later. So come on, Satellite Sisters, stay connected.
All right, Liz, Julie, have you ever heard of the term skiplagging? Skiplagging. Julie, have you heard of it?
I have, Lian. I have heard of it, but only recently. But I think I have participated in skiplagging. So you can go ahead and explain.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I think I just started hearing about it recently, but I used to do it and it was called something else. So you can explain, Lian.
Okay. So skiplagging, which is also known as hidden city ticketing, is when an air traveler buys a ticket for a flight with a layover before the final destination and departs at the layover airport. For instance, you have to fly to, I don't know, upstate New York, Buffalo, but you discover that actually if you fly through Boston okay, let me back up. You want to go to Boston, but you discover that if you buy a flight to Buffalo that goes through Boston, that's actually cheaper than just a Boston round trip. And so you buy your flight to Buffalo, but you just get off in Boston. Okay. That's what skiplagging is.
Yeah. Is that so
Anyway.
wrong? Is that so wrong?
It is. It is actually wrong, Liz. It is actually wrong. Now, is it illegal? We don't know, because there's a big case up now. American Airlines is suing a passenger for doing this. It is in your contract that you're not supposed to do this, right? So, it's a
That
prohibited
contract that no one reads.
No one
Yeah.
has ever read in the history of the world.
Right. So first, like American Airlines and Southwest Airlines put skiplagging first on their list of prohibited booking practices. And they say you cannot purchase a ticket without intending to fly all flights to gain lower fares. So, and when you're doing it, that's exactly what you're doing. You have no intention of ever going to Buffalo. You're getting off in Boston, but you have a lower fare. And airlines have lower fares on things like that because they've made contracts with those, those cities and those airports, and or the city is supplementing travel to Buffalo. So that's why it's cheaper to fly to Buffalo through Boston than to just fly to Boston. So they're starting to crack down on these skiplagging things. And I only mention it because it's been all over the news. And then one of my sons said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z." I was like, "I don't think you're allowed to do that." He's like, "Oh, come on, Mom. How can they stop you?" Well, they can stop.
Wow.
They can stop.
How do they
you.
know if you've gotten off?
Well, they because you don't check in. You have to change planes, and you don't check into the next flight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
So,
Oh.
or
But they're
so
going to
that's-
track down every passenger who does that, because
Yes,
that
Julie,
doesn't
that's-
seem.
They're trying to scare you off. Okay.
Okay. I don't want to break a law. But I remember when I was living in Northern California and I was working at UCLA, I was constantly trying to find cheap airfares to fly back and forth between San Francisco and Los Angeles. And a couple of times, because it's on the internet, you can look up all these fares. You can book these tickets. You've paid for the ticket. It seems like, to me, I didn't realize it was a crime. So it seemed like I've paid for this. So why can't I do what I want to do, which is get off the plane in Los Angeles rather than the further destination?
Yeah. Well, it's just it's a practice that they don't want you to do, because there is actually a loss of revenue. Like if you're not getting on the plane, for some reason they don't make as much money. So that has to do with the deals they have with these cities and these airports and the whole hub and spoke system. I'm not an air flight economist, so I can't explain. It's a loss of revenue for them.
Okay, well,
So-
that's all right. That's legitimate. I haven't done it in many, many years. So please, American, Southwest, I fly you all the time. I pay for my tickets.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Like they are now cracking down that they'll know if you do it, and they can ban you for life from flying on their airplane. So they interviewed someone on the news the other morning who was flying American, and she had done like 2 of these skiplagging things, and she was on her 3rd, and she said there was a really weird thing on the on my boarding pass that said, "Please go talk to a gate agent." And so she went, and they read her the riot act, like, "We know you skiplagged. You better get on this plane and not get off in Boston. You got to go all the way to Buffalo, and we're going to check your bag." And that is happening. Like she had to go to Buffalo. Another college kid was like banned for life from American Airlines for doing this because they figured out she had done 2 or 3 times, and it's done.
It seems a little like the streaming services when they go after people for like sharing passwords, for downloading music, that which is their right, because those are their businesses.
Right.
But
Yes.
I think they
Imagine
should put
if
out a
you,
really
just
big
got
announcement
shamed.
about this, because
Imagine if you just got shamed to going to Buffalo, even if you didn't want to. Just like, okay.
She did. She
You
went to
can't-
Buffalo.
You can't. The idea of being banned for life is unthinkable. So you might end up in Buffalo.
Anyway, I just wanted to
That's
make
amazing.
make people aware of this. Like, you're not supposed to do this. It's not only poor form, it is against the rules, and they're really cracking down on this now. So good luck out there, travelers. As if traveling isn't great enough.
yes, exactly. Okay, well, Yes, please pay the appropriate price for your international flights as well. Because I have some international news. Some big things have been happening on the international scene, and I've been watching a lot of our coverage, and nobody's talking about it. I mean, Liz and Lian, do you realize that India landed on the moon? And it seemed like nobody in the U.S. was paying attention to that because it was at the exact same time there was the hurricane in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, first things
Understandable
first.
then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I heard that news about India landing on the moon, my reaction, Julie, was I didn't even know they were going to the moon. Like, there's all of a sudden they were landing on the moon, as if, like, apparently they've been working on this for a while.
Yes, they have a big space program. They've gone to, they have a Mars operation. And now they've landed on the moon. And so India joins the US, Russia, and China as the only nations to reach the moon. So they've got a lunar rover that's working in the southern section of the moon. And here's the other amazing thing about the Indians. They did it on the cheap. They did it for significantly less than either the U.S. or Russia. Okay. In fact, the Wall Street Journal is quoted that India got to the moon for less than it costs Hollywood to make movies about the moon. I mean, think about that. So because they were doing it in a very economical way, they had a lot of creativity, a lot of innovation, which they're not sharing with anyone. That's important. But seems like it is definitely a giant leap forward for India and for the 1.4 billion people that live in India, don't you think?
Definitely. Yeah, there was a whole episode of the Daily podcast about why are people going back to the moon? It is really, really interesting. It was largely about the Indian program, but all the other reasons why we want to be back on the moon. Who knew?
So, but if you think about India and China combined and their enormous populations, that is something to pay attention to use that word again on this podcast in terms of, who's really going to be colonizing the moon? What's going to be happening up there in the future?
Well, I think it's Matt Damon, but I don't know.
Okay.
Well, that has been settled.
Hollywood is really going to have to cut some of their budgets if they want to compete with India. Okay. So that is, but it just, now we know. So I'll keep watching what's happening there. Russia. Okay. As if people aren't already ticked off with everything that Russia is doing. Last week, Russian scientists stretched out it was 1,400 meters large. Okay, I have no idea how big that is, but that is big. Okay, it is a Russian flag, and they put it out on the Arctic ice. Okay, these are Russian scientists that are working in the Arctic and to celebrate Russian Flag Day. Well, this is really quite a big stunt, and it was quite a showboating stunt because there are actually 8 nations that have a council that are in charge of the Arctic. And Lian, you may ask a follow-up question. What are those other 7 nations?
What are those nations?
Good. I'm glad you asked
We've talked about this before. What are they, Jill? Remind us of what they
Canada,
are.
Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Russia, and the U.S. Okay, so they're supposed to work together. They're supposed to work in harmony. They're supposed to play nice on the ice. But the Russians weren't doing that. They put out this giant flag as if this is their territory. So this is a continuing concern. And as the Arctic cap melts, now there's a lot of people are watching because Russia intends to use a lot of the new routes that are created by the melting ice for military and commercial shipping.
Yeah. Shortcuts to Russia.
See?
Right.
See?
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. See?
that's
Not
a bigger
good.
issue
Not
than a
good.
flag stunt. So that's, okay. Good point, Julie.
Okay. Can we talk about Scotland? Can we talk?
Yay.
It sounded a lot like a
Did you
pirate.
speak like pirates there?
Hi.
Okay, well, Well,
What's happening there, Julie?
there's a lot of excitement going on because Loch Ness monster hunters have released what they consider some of the findings, the biggest search in decades. Okay. Now, everybody's looking for Nessie, the Loch Ness
Yes,
monster.
sure.
Actually, I didn't know that. I thought people had kind of given up on that whole thing with the monster in the lake. But apparently, there is a new picture circulating, and they're very excited about it. I mean, Steve Feltham, he's been up there for 30 years. He sold his home so he could live next to the lake and look for the monster. 30 years, okay? And he feels that this picture is the best picture of Nessie in 30 years.
Mm.
How about that? So what do you think? Do you think there's a monster in that lake? What do you think, sisters?
I'm looking at this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't.
looks like
I don't
an
know what it
alligator.
is. There's
It looks
something in the lake. I don't know what to say. Could also be two trash bags. Like this photo could be two slightly inflated trash bags next to each
Yeah.
other.
Okay.
So it's
Right?
like a serpent-like animal. Well, here's my position, Julie. Because I am for people continuing to look for Sasquatch in the
Yes.
Pacific Northwest,
Okay.
I think I also have to support the search for Nessie. I just think that's all one big category. And so if I'm in on Sasquatch, I'm all in.
Okay, see, it's very interesting, Liz, because in fact, an Oxford University professor has done some research that confirms what you just said, that people are hardwired to believe in things that we can't explain, that they actually enjoy sort of the idea that it is a monster, okay? That there is this element of terror, like Nessie, like Sasquatch. So people can't give that up. They can't go with Lian's theory that that's some garbage bags in a lake. Okay. So,
Okay.
so anyway, you may want to check out the picture. You may want to continue to be excited about it. I don't know what to say. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, is that guy in Scotland, is he single? I'm asking for our sister Sheila because I feel like she'd like to live next to a lake.
Okay. But he sold his home, Lian. So he's not a good prospect for
All right.
our sister. Okay.
Smart ask.
Okay. And last but not least, last week, 5,000 redheads gathered in the Netherlands for their annual Redhead Days festival. Okay. I'm going to this next year. I'm just telling you that.
Mhm.
I mean, I just love this. I love the spirit of it because you realize, sisters, only 2% of the world's population has natural red hair. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
That's a very
okay.
small percentage.
Yes,
Doesn't
it
that
is.
make sense?
Yes. So you have to celebrate being ginger, okay? I don't know if they check you at this festival, if you've done any highlights, as I have, whether I will be allowed
Uh-huh.
in. I'm going to get some further information. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
But check it out. Redhead Days Festival in the Netherlands. Sounds fun.
That does
That
sound
sounds fun. Oh, Julie, yeah, that's you should go. That'd be good. You can. It looks. I'm looking it up. It looks like you can volunteer too, so you could really get in the spirit of it. All right, it's time for some fall fashion trends for the over 50 crowd, and I say that because that's the only kind of fall fashion trends I get anymore. I don't know if you have the same experience on Instagram or Facebook, but I'm just fed constantly sort of older women trying on pants and tops on social media. Is that your
I
experience?
know. It's
Yes.
for
Scarves,
mature
Yes.
figures.
Yes. Yeah.
The whole point of fashion for women over 50 seems to be to hide something. Like we're all hiding something.
Uh-huh.
So I have the problem is then you click on them and then you just get more of them. They're spawned. So my question is, when did we stop just wearing clothes and we have to now style clothes, right?
Mhm,
I mean, would they show these poor hapless women and they're just wearing
Right.
a
Well,
shirt
I
and
think
pants?
it's social media.
Yeah. And then someone comes in and says, no, now we're going to style this outfit. And they just take like the shirt and they half tuck it in the pants, which no one over 50 has ever been able to do correctly in a way that looks normal. And then
No,
there's
that
some
is
belting
impossible.
happening and accessories and change your shoes. And all of a sudden we're supposed to believe that it's a totally different outfit. Okay, fine. I mean, I get it. We're supposed to try a little harder over 50. Let's do it. Let's try harder. All right. The other big social media trend that I get constantly in my feed is sets, right? Travel sets. They used to be called like outfits or, leisure suits is basically what they used to be called.
Right. Yeah.
But now it's like pants and tops that completely match. They're usually made out of fleece. You know, they have their cutoffs or this or that, or they have lines, but basically they're just sweatpants and sweatshirts. So are we thumbs up or thumbs down on sets? Julie, you're sort of our standard bearer for trying. Are you thumbs up on the sets?
No, not really. Not. I just think that like the sweatpants and the giant sweatshirt. No, that's not for me.
It's not for you. Okay.
No,
what do you wear when you travel?
I have some Athleta travel pants and an Athleta travel shirt. Okay.
But not a set.
Well, that sounds like a set to me.
It does sound like a set, Liz.
Well, it's sort of a set, but I put the set together and it's athletic forward as if in case I have to run through terminals. Okay. That's what I wear.
All right. Liz, you have any travel sets?
Well, sort of, yes, because once in my life, not too long ago, I bought a shirt from, I think the brand is Frank and Eileen or Eileen and Frank.
Yeah.
You know, they're Irish or something. Anyway, once you buy one item from these companies, then obviously you get everything. So they have basically a fleece top and bottom. I have the top. It's only a matter of time before I get the bottom layer.
Okay.
So I'm on the verge of having a complete set, but I'm definitely wearing what they call their travel set. I'm wearing the travel top.
Okay, well, keep us updated. What people want to know, Liz, when the set, when you finally assemble that set.
Okay.
All right. Also, we love Chico's. We love Chico's here. We worked with Chico's 20 years ago on the Oprah Winfrey tour, and we've never lagged in our love of all things Chico's. And they are out there trying every year to make women over 50 look great, trying to force us to stay relevant and stay on trend. And that's what we appreciate. Okay. So the biggest trend I can tell you from Chico's is not leather. Okay. Or what we used to call pleather. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Faux leather, like leather, vegan leather. These are all the different names for pleather that you're going to see out there. Now, Chico's, I got to tell you, they have one page of all these pleather, faux leather, not leather, fake leather things. You can't believe the things they're making out of not leather right now. They're making shoes. They're making wide leg crops. They're making belts and blazers. Liz, they're making earrings out of fake leather. What is happening? There's a faux leather vest it's disturbing when you look at it, but I bet it looks great on. They're making, it's just incredible all the things they're making out of this faux leather. So that's going to keep us fresh. That's going to keep us young. It's also going to keep us really hot. Don't you think?
I know. I hear that and I think sticky.
It depends where you live. Not everyone lives in Southern California. I think that would be a very nice look in the fall, with there's a little chill in the air. Yeah.
All right. Jewel, there is a zip front cape. It's pretty cute. So I think maybe you could pull that. You could pull that off. Maybe that could be part of your travel set. Zip front cape in fake leather, faux leather, like leather, vegan leather, those things.
That's a lot of faux leather, a whole cape of it. So
it is.
I'm going to have
to ready.
I'm going to have to consider it. I think I have to start small. Okay.
All right, Liz, I found something for you because I believe you owned these in 1977. So I wanted to bring you back there in the fake animal skin category. Now let's not forget faux suede, right? Let's not forget.
Oh, yeah.
What used to be ultra suede is now called faux suede. And I get this catalog now. It's called North Style. It's sort of not quite Coldwater Creek. It's like if Coldwater Creek married the Blake Shelton Land's End line. Okay, that's what it is. It's like, so I think you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So
I've got the picture in my mind.
It's funny.
They have some faux suede gauchos, Liz.
Oh.
Admit it, you had gauchos, didn't you?
I had gauchos. There was a whole gaucho phase. You're right, late 70s, mid to late 70s. I think even Mom wore gauchos.
Yeah.
That might have even been ultra suede gauchos back in the day.
Liz, you wore chaps in Argentina. Do you remember that? You should get faux leather chaps because those look good on you. Yes.
Well, they gave us those for an outing. It's not like I
Yes.
had my own pair of chaps, but okay. Gauchos.
All right.
All right. Gauchos require a certain amount of height, I think.
Yes.
Like short people in gauchos, not so much.
No,
So
it just looks
anyway.
like we're wearing really wide pants. It's not a good look for me, but you could pull it off. So
Okay.
it requires some boots. Again, it requires styling list. You can't
Oh,
just
boots.
wear
Right, right.
gauchos.
Yeah,
You have to
that's-
style them. You have to
Uh,
style them. All right.
okay.
And finally, thanks to Glamour magazine, we have 9 fall fashion trends to shop now. You don't have to wait. You can shop these now.
Okay.
Okay, this is exciting. I picked a couple for you two and one for myself. But let's get ready because the working girl look is coming back. And that's basically suits, blazers, and suits. It's coming back. Like to see that. A great blazer is a great thing to have. Off the shoulder. Have you seen all the off the shoulder things that are coming through?
No. Like
I
both
did that.
shoulders or just one shoulder? What are
Both
we
shoulders, off the shoulder. So like pull down. Let's expose that collarbone, Julie. You got it. Let's expose it. All right. That's what they're saying here with this look.
Okay.
Um, Okay, navy on black. That's always been a very sophisticated look.
Mhm.
I like navy on black, so I'm sharing that. I think that's a trend we can all participate in.
Yes.
Now, I picked some of these just for you. Liz, okay, you used to have red hair. You don't anymore because
No,
you went natural. But how about all red everything else? How about red everything? Red, red sweat, red top, red bottom, red shoes, red accessories, red jewelry.
Okay,
What do you
all
think,
right.
Liz?
I'm having trouble picturing. That feels like a lot of red.
I think if you commit to it, Liz, you could do it. You could
Okay.
do it because your coloring would look good with red. That's what
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes.
So your
I
coloring
do-
looks good.
I
with
do like red. I have a favorite red cashmere sweater that I wear a lot. So now I'm picturing it with like red pleather gauchos.
red. Yeah.
Yes, Liz.
Red boots.
Yes.
Red
Yes.
boots all the way down.
That's a
Okay.
statement.
Big
You
red
should-
earrings and
Yes.
red bag.
Okay.
Think about it. Think about it.
Woof.
Okay, Julie, this is
Sounds like a holiday look. But then I'm like Mrs. Claus.
no.
It's just
Just-
no. You wouldn't wear this at the holiday.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Wear it like just around in Santa Monica.
I think the title of the article says it all. Wear now. This is fashion
Okay.
trends to wear now, Liz.
Okay. Now.
All right,
Okay.
Julie, for you, I have picked out the return of peplum. All right, have you seen all the peplum tops? Now, you have to be skinny to wear peplum. Liz and I, we have our own personal peplums. We don't need extra width at the hip area. We do that all on our own.
No.
But you, Julie, peplum jackets, peplum shirts, it's fitted,
I
and then it's
enjoy
that
that
little
style. I like that little peplum thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to
Okay.
see it everywhere. So that's good that you
Really?
like it.
Okay.
Now, the trend I have picked out for me, according to Glamour magazine, is Normcore 2.0.
Oh, what is
All right.
that?
So, things are just called core now. Everything's
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
core if it's a
Mhm.
trend. So,
Mhm.
Normcore is basically what I used to wear in 1990 that came from the Gap. And it's just back. It's all back. The blazers, the jeans, the t-shirts, the hoodies, the coats, the sneakers, the loafers. It's everything I wore in the 90s. And it's coming back. And now I get to call it Normcore. So
okay.
go ahead.
I like
I
it.
got jeans,
I like it.
trenches, sweatshirts. Doing it.
Okay. All right. I like that for you, as the kids say.
Yeah, I think it would be very good in California, Lian. Yeah, put
Yeah.
it all on together. Yeah.
That's what they're doing, Joel. That's what they're doing. So that's it. Fall fashion. You guys feel ready? You ready?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm.
Liz, you can feel it in the air, can't you? It's September. We're starting fresh. And how about starting fresh with Green Chef? That's right. Kickstart your clean eating routine with 80 plus weekly options featuring nutritionist approved and foodie approved recipes. Green Chef, they can do things like easy, calorie smart, delicious discoveries, plant-based options. And how about the new quick and easy? Liz, you are a Green Chef believer, and I have some surprising news for you.
Okay, I am a total Green Chef believer, Leah. I try to eat healthy, but when I just cook all that stuff for myself, it's just so boring. But on Green Chef, they have so many choices that I feel like I can keep my dinners interesting because this fresh food is coming and it's recipes I never would have tried on my own, Liam. So I am a total believer in Green Chef.
Well, how about this? If you want to build healthier eating habits this fall, Green Chef can help. Now, every Green Chef customer gets a free session with a registered dietitian who can walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. When you sign up, you can start your journey towards better health today. Isn't that amazing? Have you ever done that? Did you know that?
I didn't even know that was a possibility. Thank you. Breaking news from Green Chef. That would be awesome, because sometimes you need to just talk to someone else who has a little bit more expertise than you do. It helps you kind of reset your whole program. Just one conversation with a nutritionist. That could make a big difference. Thank you, Lian. Thank you, Green Chef.
Yeah, well, they're here for you, Liz. Green Chef is here to make your life convenient and easy. They deliver everything you need to eat clean the easy way this September. So feel your best with nutritionist-approved recipes packed with clean ingredients that support your healthy lifestyle and taste great too. Here is a great deal from Green Chef. Go to greenchef.com/60sisters and use code 60sisters to get 60% off plus free shipping. I'm going to say it again because it's hard to say, but I'm going to say it again, Green Chef.
Yeah.
Go to greenchef.com/60sisters and use code 60sisters to get 60% off plus free shipping. That is the way to eat clean this fall. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
Okay, we're back, sisters, and I have an announcement to make. I have officially become a couch influencer, which is just good news for me as an influencer overall, because, I was already a lipstick influencer, right?
Yes.
The listeners are constantly writing in when they see us like in a video or photo together to ask, like, what is that lipstick color? Okay,
Yes.
It's Bobbi Brown Cassis, people. I'll say it one more time. Bobbi Brown Cassis art stick. Okay, so I've been a lipstick influencer for years now. I kind of feel like with Cooking with Liz, I became a kitchen implement influencer because, I'd get Crate and Barrel on the blower. Next thing you know, I had a new kitchen implement. So there was some unboxing. There was some influencing going on then. So, accidental influencer, I think is what I am. So in that accidental category, last week, Lian and I, we're doing about weekly these Instagram lives, Fridays. We're over there on Instagram Live if you follow @SatSisters. And we did an interview last week with one of our sponsors for the Big Fun Weekend, Kathleen Quinn. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But we were talking about a bunch of stuff. I'm in my living room. Lian, I forget where you were standing. Were you in your office?
I'm always in my office. I had the filter on though. My office is
Oh yeah. Yeah. See, but your office is very styled. It's very Instagram worthy. My office is not. So I was standing in my living room, and Julie, guess what? We got a note from a viewer saying she was very interested in my couch.
Yes. She wasn't listening to what you were saying, but you had zoomed in on the couch. Good.
Over my shoulder, she could see my couch, and it was exactly what she had been looking for and having trouble finding online. So she asked me if I could possibly recommend, like, where did I get the couch? And so I felt kind of good about that. Then I'm like, I have no idea where I got that couch or like what kind of couch that is. And I knew it was 10 years old. Anyway, because I have, 75,000 emails in my inbox that have been read, but I've never done anything with them. I actually found...
That's your filing system.
I found the couch receipt. And
no way.
Yes, Julie. And I was able to respond to the listener with the name and the model of the couch, but also the bad news that I bought it in 2013. But anyway, so there's the good news. I found it. The bad news is I have email from 2013 in my inbox. Anyway, couch influencer. There you go. Next up, merch alert. Last week we announced that we have a new Satellite Sisters shop. So I just want to let people know, thank you for supporting the shop. There was just a surge of energy. Now you can find the shop if you just go to satellitesisters.com, and the top of our website now you'll see shop, and you can just click on that. And we've also been posting the direct link all over. So We have Satellite Sisters logo merch, which people seem to be enjoying. We have some special edition Big Fun Weekend stuff. We have some special edition Two Paws Up stuff, So, and I'm trying just a few new things, right? I've been talking to you guys.
We like that, Liz, that you're being very innovative with products and coming out with them all the time. It's very exciting.
Yes. So when we started today's podcast, we took another screenshot of each of us in our 3 areas where we were recording. We're all wearing merch again today because there's so much good stuff. So I will be posting that around. You can see that. But I did want to announce that the number 1 selling item in the Satellite Sister shop is our Satellite Sisters Big Fun Weekend pins. The little pink pins. So
they're so cute. Yeah,
they're cute.
Yeah, it's very low margin on pins, though. Super low margin on selling the pins. But that's okay. If you want the
we're
pins.
starting small, Liz.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Just think of it that way.
The next best-selling item is the Satellite Sisters fleece that I'm actually wearing today, which you'll be able to see in the photo. So anyway, so thank you for checking out the shop. There's going to be, as I get to it, just adding little things here and there. And then one last thing, on the Insta Live that Lian and I did last week, we interviewed Kathleen Quinn because she is our first Look What I Do sponsor for the Big Fun Weekend. So, we have this whole sponsorship category where if you're a listener and you have a business, your service, products, whatever, that you would like to promote to the Satellite Sisterhood at the Big Fun Weekend, you can be a sponsor in the specially priced Look What I Do sponsor category. So it was super fun to talk to Kathleen Quinn. Julie, she is a part-time CFO, like CFO for hire. The name of her business is CFO Quinn. Don't you think that's a good idea for
I think it's great. It's sort of like plug and play. She can move around and just come in. She's got a set of skills. She can help your company. I love it.
Yeah. And she's a total Satellite Sister. She said the reason she decided to sponsor the Big Fun Weekend she'd never done anything like this for her business before, but she said she likes to think that she's the nice CFO that you can hire. And she thought of the Satellite Sisterhood as the nice clients she could find, right?
Yeah, it was very sweet. Yeah.
We're just all going to be nicer. Anyway, I posted that video. If you want to watch it, it is posted on the Satellite Sisters YouTube channel in case you didn't already get it in your social feed. So thank you, Kathleen Quinn, CFO Quinn. Just so much going on. Very exciting.
Really is, Liz. Well, we're going to pivot now to entertaining sisters, but thank you for all your hard work over there. We'll have one last update on the Big Fun Weekend ticket sales next weekend. Just reminders still for sale, but they will be selling out this week. All right. First of all, let's just say thank you to Jimmy Buffett, who really was just a joy. His music was a joy. If you spent any time, south of the Mason-Dixon, it was the perfect kind of music to listen when you were sitting by the water or on vacation or on a sailboat. Even if you were on a sailboat north of the Mason-Dixon line, it was great to listen to him. But what struck me, his death, I think, was a surprise to a lot of people, even his good friends. Apparently, he had this very rare form of skin cancer, and it had been 4 years since he was diagnosed. And so people knew he was pretty sick. But every single person that did a tribute to him just said the nicest things about him. Everyone from James Taylor to Paul Simon to the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, Keith Urban I saw did a nice tribute to him. Like, there wasn't one person that said one negative thing about Jimmy Buffett. And that's a pretty great way to go out, don't you think?
Right. He just have you ever been to a Jimmy Buffett concert?
Of course. Yeah.
They're just so full. They were so fun and so, relaxed, and everybody was in a good mood. It was a great, he created a great atmosphere with his music.
I've also been struck to Julie by all the bars that have posted on Instagram, all these little bars all over the place, from Key West to New Orleans to Nantucket to, Long Island, where he used to just show up with his guitar or call the guy and say, "Hey, I'm in town. Can I come down and do a set?" Like
really?
that, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, and Keith Urban told a story where they were visiting him in St. Bart's, and Jimmy's like, "Bring your guitar. There's a bar down the street. We'll go play." And so the two of them just walked in with their guitars and
Oh my
like
God,
played
can
a
you
set.
imagine?
Yeah,
You'd
I mean,
fall
so
over if you saw
yeah.
that happen, right?
yeah. And I was surprised that James Taylor apparently was a very good friend and was in fact on his way to see Jimmy Buffett one last time when he got the news that he died. So that made me very sad to hear that. But he really spoke highly of him as like a songwriter and a musician. And he said at his heart, he was really a band leader. He said, I think of myself as a band leader. Like I'm just one instrument leading a whole band. And he said Jimmy was the same way. Like he was really the leader of his band and he was only as good as, you know, his band. And when you see some of the, you know, video of the performances, I mean, he had a huge band, which is good. I mean, that's great. But anyway, just thank you, Jimmy Buffett. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Really nice, some nice tributes.
Yeah. Oh, he was a good one. Hey, well, I want to recommend a new book by Ann Patchett. It's her latest novel, Tom Lake. I love this book. I read it on my way up and back to the Northeast Kingdom. And this is a story that is set in the spring of 2020, so COVID time. 3 grown daughters return to their parents' cherry farm in northern Michigan. And they have to pick the cherries because it's cherry picking season. But the daughters beg their mother, Laura, to tell the story of how Laura, one summer, she was working in summer stock theater, that she had a romance with a famous actor. Okay. And so that's the story. It's about a family. It's about mothers and daughters. But at the heart of this, it's about life and it's about memories. But at the heart of this, it's about an inappropriate boyfriend. Okay.
Oh, the best.
I don't know. Right. Right. I mean, you went there, Lian.
Everybody needs at least one. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Peter D. Okay. We had no names there, but wonderful person, no doubt, but totally inappropriate for Julie D. Okay. No. Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
We recall. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I think it is just so relatable, and the dynamic in the family is so relatable. I think people are really going to enjoy this. It's simple, it's clear, it's very insightful, it's moving. This is her latest book, Tom Lake, by Ann Patchett. And here's the really good news. I read the book, but several people in my book club listened to it, and Meryl Streep was the narrator.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay, so perfect. And she obviously is going to play the role of Laura in the movie version of this. I just know that. I just know that. It would be a perfect role for her. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Tom Lake. Got it. There'll be a link in the show notes to that. All right. I have a question. Everyone is talking about Suits. Suits, the #1 show on Netflix. And I have never watched Suits. I have nothing against Suits, but I just want to know from you two, should I be watching Suits? Should I be getting on this Suits bandwagon? What do you think?
Well, how much time do you have, Liz? Do you have a lot of free time that you're trying to fill? It's like a modern version of LA Law. Remember that
Yeah.
show?
Which I loved.
There were a lot of suits in that, highly attractive people, moving quickly, snappy dialogue. That's a lot of what's going on in Suits. What did you
Okay.
think? I mean, I haven't seen all of it, but that's kind of the flavor of it.
Right. I mean, our family was huge fans of the USA Network in the aughts, right? So when Suits originally came out, so White Collar, Psych, Burn Notice, Royal Pains, my sons loved all those. Suits was our least favorite of all those shows.
Oh.
The premise is idiotic, and it goes on too long. The premise is one lawyer who's not really a lawyer in a law firm where all the other lawyers went to Harvard. That's the premise, literally. Well, how long can you sustain that? And then it's just a lot of lawyers being mean to each other. I mean, it's LA Law almost not even, but not quite as good as LA Law. So,
Okay.
but there are a lot of suits in it. Julie's absolutely right. And we know now from Glamour magazine that's a real fashion trend. Of course, Meghan Markle is in it.
Of course,
so it's
Meghan
fun
Markle.
to see her. But
Yes.
there are, good actors, but just the premise is just so tedious. They just beat it into the ground. So we had to stop watching after like 2 seasons, but it apparently went on for like 5 more seasons. So,
All right.
so I would watch The Good Wife.
Oh,
you're
I've never
looking
watched
for-
that.
If you're looking for a law drama,
Yes.
That's a good recommendation.
I would watch The Good Wife. I thought it was a much better show.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. When Netflix starts telling me everyone is watching this, you need to watch it, it's exactly when I don't want to watch it. Right. So that's why I jumped
is.
over Suits.
Just keep in mind, you're a couch influencer. You can talk back to Netflix, okay?
So I jumped into Lincoln Lawyer instead
Mhm.
because that was also like there, and it seemed like, and again, courtroom drama. Well, the ridiculous premise there is that he's just driving around in his car all the time, right? But
That you
anyway,
could actually drive in LA. Yes.
yeah, exactly, Julie. That the car is always moving, right? They're on freeways with no traffic. So okay. Anyway, I jumped into that because obviously somebody on my Netflix had already started watching Lincoln Lawyer. I think it's because it's in the big little bungalow in Bend. So somebody who was vacationing in Bend started Lincoln Lawyer. So then when I went to start it, it was starting me like in the middle of season 2 because it assumed I had already watched. So I had to figure out how to go back start. So I'm enjoying Lincoln Lawyer. But that's just a regular old courtroom drama, which I like. So maybe The Good Wife is the way to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would just say about the Lincoln Lawyer that that lead actor is hot.
He is hot,
I don't often
yes.
say that.
He's
Manuel
super hot.
Garcia
Yes.
Rulfo, he's very appealing. I think
He's
he makes
super
that-
charming.
Yeah.
Super charming. Yeah.
I think he makes that show. Because
Mhm.
again, the premise there, but it's Michael Connelly's book. So, he's obviously one of the great writers and crime writers. And so, but it's all about the lawyer himself. He's watchable, Liz. That's what I would say.
I agree. Full agree. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of watchable, Live to 100, Secrets of the Blue Zone is on Netflix. It's a documentary. And, the Blue Zone diet it's been out, this research has been out there about 20 years. It's about these people that live to be 100 years old. Dan Buettner he's a journalist and an adventurer, and was trying to figure out why do some people in some places live so long. And his work is great. It's interesting books. There are lots of recipe books out. National Geographic has a whole thing if you want to learn about it. But the TV show is delightful. It just takes you to these places like Okinawa, Japan, or Ikaria, Greece. And so it's a little bit of a travel log. It's not too heavy on the science. It's not a eat this, not that. But you actually get to see these centenarians in community and see the kind of things that they do that may or may not probably help them live so long. So it's an enjoyable way to sort of be inspired on a health show without in a gentle way. It's not people, it's because it's all about like, be a part of a community, stay close to your family, dance and sing as long as you can, have a creative life, maybe eat these sweet potatoes. Those would be good for you. So it's just,
Okay.
But Lian, here's my question for you. If you don't really want to be 100 years old, is it still interesting to watch?
Yeah, because it would let you be a healthy 80-year-old. I mean, I don't know what your end game is, Joel, but
I'm going to the moon, Liam. That's my new plan.
I mean, it's not a guarantee you're going to live to be 100. It's the idea that like the last third of your life, you can, these are some of the things that make people active. That's the thing. These people are active and engaged and communicative. Like they're enjoying their later years in a way that other people might not, even if they only live to be 85. It's a great 85 is what I would say. So you can decide, but it's on Netflix. Just half hours, not it's not a totally long commitment. It's good.
Okay. I was worried that I already knew everything I needed to know about this because I've seen Dan Buettner on Oprah and I was at National Geographic. But if it's this,
Okay,
sounds
well,
fun.
you might, Liz,
Yeah,
but I mean, other people didn't work at National Geographic.
Okay.
Okay, for the listeners that didn't work at National Geographic.
Yes.
Recommending it.
Okay. All right. All right. Then we just have one other TV story here. And first, this starts with an apology. I would like to offer an audio apology to a complete stranger in my deep water aerobics class last Saturday, because during a little bit of the pre-class chit-chat, I heard her complaining to her neighbor, the woman next to her in class, that she couldn't watch the US Open because we're having one of those super stupid fights here in Southern California where the Walt Disney Company has pulled all of its channels, including ESPN and ABC, from our Spectrum cable service. So that reaches 15 million subscriber homes around the country, 5 million of us here in California alone. So she could not watch the US Open. So unbidden, I knew I had been watching it on TV on one of my streaming services. So I thought I was being helpful. And I turned around and said, by the way, you can watch it on the streaming service. It's on Peacock. She's like, really? I was like, yes, just check it out. And so she said, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Life went on, class went on. I got home. I changed out of my wetsuit. I took a shower. I went to go turn on the US Open, my TV. I realized, of course, it's not on Peacock.
Not on Peacock. Yes.
Peacock is owned by NBC. There's no way it would be on Peacock. It's on Hulu. So I don't know who you are or and I know I'm not going to be in class this coming Saturday.
Out of embarrassment and shame.
Apologize or correct myself. And really, if you get Hulu, you can also get ESPN as a streaming service.
You're going to have to buy her a streaming service as an apology, Liz.
I just don't know why I barged in. It was I should have just, that's just someone who wanted to complain about their cable provider.
Yeah.
And don't we all need to do that every once in a while?
Yeah, they didn't want a solution.
Did
right?
not want
You
a
didn't
solution,
need to give
Julie.
her a solution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I butted in and I gave her a solution. She probably spent an hour at home that day trying to figure out, it doesn't look to me like Peacock has, so anyway, whoever you are, I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry.
I can see the headline, former cable TV exec misinforms stranger about cable TV. So there you go. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. And one last thing. We're always appreciative whenever you post a review of our show or just give it 5 stars because you love it so much. So there was a super sweet review. Andy Price posted this in the Apple Podcast app. The headline was "Never Miss a Week." Thank you, Andy. We do appreciate that. This show is so fun. I look forward to it every week. It's a fun balance of personalities and feels like having a great chat with friends. That's exactly what we're trying to do, Andy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who supports the show by posting your own reviews in any of the apps that you listen to. We really appreciate it. We want to attract new listeners, and this helps us do that. Thank you.
That's the show for this week. So thanks to our sponsors. They are also key in allowing us to do this show. Also, a big thanks to Sergio Enriquez, our engineer, Emily Borgine, who's our graphic designer and does the great graphics you can see in Pep Talk, our newsletter, or over at the SatSis Instagram account or everywhere. Really, we use Emily's graphics everywhere. So thank you. What about our to-do list? Jewel, what do you have on your to-do?
You know what it is, Lian? It's to get my mammogram this week. Okay. I think you're a real leader. You've really helped a lot of people to decide to go get the colonoscopy. This is a time of year, just if you get your mammogram or book your appointment, it's good for your health.
Right. That is good. And ahead of October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness.
Exactly.
And it gets hard to book
Beat the crowd.
Mammogram then. Yeah, that's good. Good one. Good one. Good work, Joel. All right. For me, I have to say, I love the spooky season. I love when it becomes September, October. I'm working on my witch book list for the fall. Stay tuned for that. But I did something really fun the other day. I took yoga in a cemetery, and that was great. And we have
that sounds
It's great.
So bad, Lian.
No, it's
okay.
not bad. It's not bad, Julie. You know, it was part of the ethos of the cemetery, Hollywood Forever. And, you know, those people are there. They're just there. This is entertainment, I think. Like, it's a way to honor them in a gentle way. We're not partying on top of them. We're doing down dogs and we're meditating. And it was at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I went as part of a birthday celebration. So that's a longer story. But it was a great morning activity for a group birthday celebration. And I really enjoyed it. So then I went over and they have yoga 7 days a week at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And guess what, Julie? I did it. You're on this nice lawn right next to this big mausoleum. And I was right next to Toto and Anne Hesh. So it was kind of nice. There you go. It's great.
Oh,
There
that's
you go.
mind blowing,
Hollywood
Liam.
So if you're coming to LA, check out the activities at Hollywood Forever.
That is super Hollywood. Okay, one last thing. I have reached my punch list peak, sisters. You know when you have like a very small repair that needs to get done, but it's not worth calling someone about. So I had that when my kitchen drawer stopped opening. Then I was willing to ignore that the shade in my guest room does not go up and down anymore. So there were a few other little punch list items that I was ignoring. Well, now I got to go for it because the light over my dining room table, the light switch is busted now. So I feel like I've reached my peak. I'm going to have to just get someone in to take care. Now I have enough. I can mass enough little mini jobs so it's worth it to call someone in. So that's what I'm going to do at my punch list peak.
Okay. Ooh. All right, Liz, branded punch list peak. You got it.
Life is
All right.
exciting. Life is exciting here when you're a couch influencer. You know, you lay on your couch and you look at everything that's broken in your condo. It's nice.
Okay, please just grab that Instagram. So go right now and see if you can grab that account, couch influencer, just for me. Just okay. Do it, Liz. Whole new career for you. All right, sisters, that's the show. We gotta go. So have a great week.
You too, Lian.
And don't forget, call your satellite sister.